Hello everyone. Yes, this is a game we haven't seen before. I'm not abandoning the Thief playthrough, nor am I abandoning Skyrim, but as you know, my Skyrim files were wiped, and I'm not exactly keen on the repetitiveness of starting that game over from the beginning right now. And Thief is still glitching out on me. I am currently on my 8th attempt at Chapter 6 to get around the bugs and get what I feel is my well-earned ghost rating, and I still haven't figured out a way to do it reliably, while, of course, getting everything which is mandated when you're me. So, I thought to myself, what am I excited about playing? I like the Bethesda open world games. It's too soon to replay the beginning of Skyrim. I need a little more distance. So, we go to my second favorite Bethesda game, Fallout 3. I actually like New Vegas a little bit better in some ways. I think, ultimately, I like Fallout 3 a little better just because it's less glitchy and everything is finished, more or less. But I love New Vegas, and I'll probably end up doing both. But, yeah, I'm going to start a Fallout 3 playthrough. And after this, I think... well, let me amend that. Rather than after, during this, I'm planning on finishing up Thief. As soon as I figure out how to get through those last few levels and overcome their glitches. After Fallout 3, I don't know if I'll go back to Skyrim and restart it or if I'll do New Vegas. I'll probably go Fallout 3, Skyrim, New Vegas, but we'll just see. Ultimately, what I've realized is the only way to keep regular updates coming is to make sure I'm working on a game that I'm enjoying playing and am excited to come record videos for. And right now, that's this one. So, let's get started with a new game. I feel like I should tell you that I will be following the Fallout 3 Game of the Year Edition walkthrough written by Nathan Garvin, also known as Hayravon, because he has an excellent way through the game that results in missing nothing. Which, of course, is what I'm always after. A route through the game that doesn't miss anything, completes all quests, gets everything, all that jazz. So I'll be following his walkthrough because it accomplishes that. Skyrim is almost 3.
War. War never changes. Since the dawn of humankind, when our ancestors first discovered the killing power of rock and bone, blood has been spilled in the name of everything from God to justice to simple psychotic rage. In the year 2077, after millennia of armed conflict, the destructive nature of man could sustain itself no longer. The world was plunged into an abyss of nuclear fire and radiation. But it was not, as some had predicted, the end of the world. Instead, the apocalypse was simply the prologue to another bloody chapter of human history. For man had succeeded in destroying the world. But war never changes. In the early days, thousands were spared the horrors of the Holocaust by taking refuge in enormous underground shelters known as vaults. But when they emerged, they had only the hell of the wastes to greet them. All except those in Vault 101. For on that fateful day, when fire rained from the sky, the giant steel door of Vault 101 slid closed and never reopened. It was here you were born. It is here you will die. Because in Vault 101, no one ever enters. And no one ever leaves.
Well, there you go. Little skippage. I feel like I should also tell you I'm not planning on being quite so OCD in terms
Let's see. Are you a boy or a girl?
in terms of picking up and selling every little bit of junk, either in this or when I do get back into Skyrim, but you'll see what my rules end up being. I'm gonna play as a boy, just I don't like to gender bend.
It's a boy. A boy. We've got a son, Catherine. A beautiful, healthy baby boy.
Oh, James. We did it. A son. A beautiful son.
You've got a bright future ahead of you, son. I'm sure of it. Look at you. Look at you. Hi there. I'm your daddy, little guy. Daddy. You're going to need a name, aren't you? Your mother and I have been talking. What do you think about...
I always go pretty basic. Just like to use my own name.
That's a good name, don't you think? Fits you perfectly. Looks like they've finished the gene projection. Let's see what you'll look like when you're all grown up.
And, not to be racist, I'm a white dude, so I'll play a white dude. I see nothing wrong with that. I don't want to mess with face gen too much. Let's just find a preset and use it. I'll go with that one. It sort of looks like me. As close as we're gonna get. I'm even alright with that hairstyle. I don't like to waste time on this stuff.
You're going to look a lot like your dad. See that, Catherine?
Oh, very strapping.
It's a big world out there, son. Full of all sorts of people. What about you? What kind of person are you going to be? You're just
James?
Catherine?
James.
Catherine! She's in cardiac arrest. Start compression. Get the baby out of here. Move! Move! 1,000. 2, 1,000. Come on. Hang on, Catherine. Hang on. Okay?
We need a doctor, not a deadbeat. Fail to meet my expectations and there will be no...
Don't look straight into the
James
light
and
now.
his cheery chatter.
Decorations,
May your future be bright.
this place we used to do. Just like home. Come on over here, son. Come on.
Auto-saving. Quest added. Baby steps. Use WSAD to move. The mouse turns you.
You can make it.
Walk to dad. Pretty good.
Just a little further. There you go. My goodness, just a year old and already walking like a pro.
Left shift
Your
to
mother
toggle
would have been
between run and
so
walk.
proud. Listen, kiddo, I know you don't like it when Daddy leaves you alone, But I need you to take care of yourself for a minute. You just stay here while Daddy runs to his office. You'll be okay, pal. I'll be back in a bit.
Push space to jump up on the chair. Looks like we run by default. Holding shift lets us walk. Alright. Open the playpen's gate. To grab a toy from the toy box, look at it and push Z. Exit the playpen. That's done too. Look at the Your Special book. Good job. Now push Z again to let go of the toy. Cool. I actually haven't played the computer version before. I'm sure it's very basic, but... Look at the Your Special book. Special is our attributes for this game. Now, because I have the Game of the Year edition, specifically Broken Steel, it's quite possible for me to end up with 10 in all attributes. But the only one you really need to raise early that makes a big difference is intelligence, because it gives us more skill points. Anyway, it starts with 5 points to distribute and 5 in each of the 7 stats. S is for strength, and that means I am strong. I can carry more toys and swing stuff all day long. Now, it does a shitty job telling you what the stats actually do. Strength determines your damage in melee and your carry weight. You don't really need it that high. It also influences, which skills? I think maybe just melee weapons. I think that's right. P is for perception, a long, funny word. It means what I tasted, smelled, saw, and heard. What it actually does is, it determines how far away you can see, enemies and NPCs on your radar compass. The higher the perception, the sooner they show up there. It also influences the skills of... Shoot, I'm going to screw this up. I'm pretty sure perception hits explosives and small guns. Yeah, strength does only do melee weapons. But it's a very... Yeah. I'll go ahead and be more thorough about this. Strength affects melee weapons. You get a 2-point bonus to the melee weapon's skill for every point of strength. Every point also gives you 10 pounds of carrying capacity and a whopping half a point of melee damage. So, it's not that critical a stat to have. The, what am I trying to say? The carry weight is nice, but it's not necessary. I'm ultimately going to leave strength at 5. For perception, it affects, again, a 2-point bonus to each of explosives, lockpick, and energy weapons. But the skill bonuses don't really matter. And, like I said, it increases the distance at which you can notice threats. Again, not a big deal. E is for endurance, and that's how long I can play. I'm always really healthy and have energy all day. Now, endurance is actually pretty good, but you don't need it to get through the game because you shouldn't be getting hit that much. What endurance does, besides affecting the skills of big guns and unarmed, again, 2 skill points for every rank in endurance, it also gives you, it affects your hit points pretty substantially, 20 hit points for every point of endurance, and it gives you poison resistance, 5 points per, well, your poison resistance is 0 at 1, but if you go to 2 and on upwards, you get 5 for every rank. So at an endurance of 10, you have 45 poison resistance. You also get, again, starting at 0, but at 2 endurance, you get 2% radiation resistance, up to a maximum of 18% with 10 endurance. But here's the thing. unlike, say, the first 4 Elder Scrolls games, where you wanted to raise endurance early because it determined your health gain per level, the endurance bonuses are retroactive, meaning I don't ultimately lose out on those resists or hit points if I wait to raise endurance. So accordingly, I don't prioritize it before level 30 when you can get the almost perfect perk and then collect the bobblehead to get it to a nice 10. But endurance is a pretty useful special attribute, make no mistake. Charisma. C is for charisma. It's why people think I'm great. I make my friends all laugh and smile and never want to hate. Now this affects the barter and speech skills. It's even more of a dump stat in this game than anything else, because unlike every other Fallout game where you have a threshold charisma before you can pass speech checks, even with 1 charisma the entire game you can still pass every speech check if you're willing to save scum a little, which of course I am, so charisma becomes a dump stat. But like everything, we'll be able to get it to 10 once we get to level 30 anyway. I is for intelligence. It means I'm really smart. I use my brain for lots of stuff like science, math, and art. This affects the science, repair, and medicine skills, but of course the big draw is it determines how many skill points you get at every level. From a base of 10, every point in intelligence gives you an extra skill point at every level. So obviously you want that, and that's not retroactive. It's the only one that isn't retroactive. So you want to have it as high as possible, as early as possible. I ultimately set intelligence to 9, because we can get the intelligence bobblehead right away to get it to 10, so we don't want to waste that point. That means that we'll get 19 skill points at level 2, and then the very first thing we do is run straight to Rivet City for the intelligence bobblehead. So from then on, we'll get 20 skill points from level 3 all the way up to level 30. But yeah, that's huge. You want a high intelligence early. A is for agility. That's how I get around. I move real fast and easy and never make a sound. Agility is also very important. It affects your small guns and your sneak skill. But the big draw is it gives you action points. But it's not as big a draw as you think. You start with a base of 65 action points for VATs, and you get a whopping 2 extra AP for every point you put in agility. So, it's not a huge deal. And finally you get luck. L is for luck, and it's simple, you see. It means that good things always happen to me. Now, luck gives you a half a point bonus to every skill per rank, so in other words, and it rounds up, so at 1 and 2 you get +1 to all skills, at 3 and 4 you get +2 to all skills, and so on. But that's not the big draw. The big draw is every point of luck gives you a 1% critical chance, so luck is a phenomenal special stat. Unfortunately, it's just not as important as intelligence is. We gotta get that intelligence up. So it's the one stat we'll really focus on boosting here at Character Creation. Let's review. 5 points to go. So I'm going to leave Strength at 5. I'm going to bump Perception to 6. I'm going to bump Endurance to 6. I'm going to drop Charisma all the way to 1. I'm going to pump Intelligence up to 9. I'm going to boost Agility to 7. And I'm going to put Luck at 6. All points assigned. All done. Very good.
You are quite the little explorer, aren't you? Serves me right for trying to pin you in. Come on over here. I want to show you something. See that? It was your mother's favorite passage. It's from the Bible. Revelation 21:6. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. I will give unto him that is athirst of the fountain of the water of life freely. He always loved that. All right, come on. Let's go see if your little friend Amada wants to play.
There we go. Follow Dad. That does it for baby steps. We have finished our first quest. Phenomenal.
These experiments
Don't be a
are
damn
waste.
fool. The experiment to prepare. Prepare to survive. Surprise!
Stanley, you turned the lights on too fast.
Stay more than
You
once.
blinded the poor kid.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Can you believe it? He is growing up so fast.
Happy birthday, pal. I can't believe you're already 10. I'm so proud of you. If only your mother...
Congratulations, young man. I don't have to tell you how special this day is, do I? Down here in Vault 101, when you turn 10, well, you're ready to take on your first official Vault responsibilities. So here you are. As Overseer, I hereby present to you your very own Pip-Boy 3000. Get used to it. You'll be getting your first work assignment tomorrow.
Enjoy your party. You're only 10 once, so have fun.
Pip-Boy 3000 found. Alright, here's our Pip-Boy. I'll take you through this right quick. You've got 3 big tabs, and each one has sub-tabs. So we'll start on stats. Stats, status, condition. So as you can see, you have 6 body parts, and they do have locational damage. Any of the 6 can be crippled. You can have cripple any of the 4 limbs, the head, or the torso, and getting those limbs crippled has various effects. Crippled legs, you can't run anymore and you're slow. Crippled torso, crippled head, your vision kind of blurs and I think your perception drops. Crippled arms, you can't swing things as fast, you do less damage if you're swinging. Also shows us our level. We're level 1. We're at 220 of 220 HP, 79 of 79 AP, 0 XP of the 200 needed to get to level 2. Rad. Our rad resist, 10% base. We have 0 ads out of 1,000. The way radiation poisoning works is there are 5 thresholds. Every 200 rads, you cross another radiation poisoning threshold. 0 to 200, there's nothing. 200 to 400, your stats start to drop. There's another drop at 400 and 600 and 800. If you hit 1,000 rads, you immediately die. So it's a pretty big deal. EFF, no status effects. So if we go to Special, we get some new flavor text. Strength is a measure of your raw physical power. It affects how much you can carry and determines the effectiveness of all melee attacks. A high perception grants a bonus to the explosives, lockpick, and energy weapons skills and determines when red compass markings appear which indicate threats. Endurance is a measure of your overall physical fitness. A high endurance gives bonuses to health, environmental resistances, and the big guns and unarmed skills. Having a high charisma will improve people's disposition toward you and give bonuses to both the barter and speech skills. Intelligence affects the science, repair, and medicine skills. The higher your intelligence, the more skill points you'll be able to distribute when you level up. Agility affects your small guns and sneak skills and the number of action points available for VATs. Raising your luck will raise all of your skills a little. Having a high luck will also improve your critical chance with all weapons. Here are the skills. Now, I'll talk more about them when we get to tag them, but... So here's what I start with. 7 Barter. The barter skill affects the prices you get for buying and selling items. In general, the higher your barter skill, the lower your prices on purchased items. The Big Gun skill determines your combat effectiveness with all oversized weapons, such as the Fat Man, Missile Launcher, Flamer, Minigun, and Gatling Laser. 17 Energy Weapons. The Energy Weapons skill determines your effectiveness with weapons such as the Laser Pistol, Laser Rifle, Plasma Rifle, and Plasma Pistol. The Explosive skill determines the power of any set mines, the ease of disarming any hostile mines, and the effectiveness of any thrown grenades. The Lockpick skill is used to open locked doors and containers. Now a note about Lockpick. Unlike Skyrim, there are requirements here. You cannot pick an easy lock unless you have a lockpick of 25. You cannot pick a very hard lock unless you have a lockpick of 100. It's not like Skyrim where you can pick any lock anytime and it just gets easier. There are threshold requirements, so we will be raising lockpick and similarly science very early in order to get over those thresholds. The medicine skill determines how many hit points you'll replenish upon using a stim pack and the effectiveness of Rad-X and Rad-Away. The melee weapons skill determines your effectiveness with any melee weapon, from the simple lead pipe all the way up to the high-tech super sledge. The repair skill allows you to maintain any weapons and apparel. In addition, the higher your repair skill, the better the starting condition of any custom-made weapons. The science skill represents your combined scientific knowledge and is primarily used to hack restricted computer terminals. Small guns determines your effectiveness with all conventional projectile weapons, such as the 10mm pistol, BB gun, assault rifle, and combat shotgun. The higher your sneak skill, the easier it is to remain undetected, steal an item, or pick someone's pocket. Successfully attacking while undetected grants an automatic critical hit. The speech skill governs how much you can influence someone through dialogue and gain access to information they might otherwise not want to share. The unarmed skill is used for fighting without a weapon or with the few weapons specifically designed for hand-to-hand combat like brass knuckles or the power fist. Now, we won't be raising combat skills for a while because the game is pretty easy at low and even at mid levels. We'll be raising combat skills at about the point where our levels begin to dictate that the game difficulty is going to ramp up. Perks. We have none. We get to choose a perk every level. We'll evaluate the perks at every level at which they're available. And general. This represents your karma. Right now I'm at 0, neutral. I'm a vault dweller. Your title is based on your karma and your level. So neutral karma at level 1, vault dweller. Quests completed 1. It tracks locations discovered, people killed, creatures killed, locks picked, computers hacked, stim packs taken, Rad-X taken, Rad-Away taken, chems taken, times addicted, minds disarmed, speech successes, pockets picked, pants exploded, books read, bobbleheads found, weapons created, people mezzed, captives rescued, Sandman kills, paralyzing punches, robots disabled, contracts completed, corpses eaten, and mysterious stranger visits. One other note about skills. We'll be getting, well, for special, let me back up. On the attributes, we can eventually get them all to 10 since we have the Broken Steel expansion. There's a level 30 perk called Almost Perfect, which, if you have something at 10, it doesn't drop it. It stays at 10, but it raises every special attribute to 9. Now, because there is one bobblehead for every attribute in the game that raises it by 1 point, if we simply refrain from collecting those bobbleheads, except, of course, the intelligence one, until we're level 30, we can use Almost Perfect to get everything to 9, and we can then collect the bobbleheads to raise everything to 10. Same thing with the skills. It's a pretty simple matter to end up with every skill at 100, because there is one bobblehead for every skill in the game, which raises it by 10 points. There are approximately 25, sometimes it's 24, sometimes it's 26, but around 25 skill books for everything in the game, which raise them by 1 point. However, if you wait until you get the comprehension perk, which I'll ultimately be picking up, the skill books raise your skill by 2 points instead of 1. So you can get 60 points in every skill just from being a thorough collector. On top of that, we get 19 at level 2 and then 20 skill points to distribute per level. So it's ultimately a pretty easy matter to get every skill to 100. It's just a question of what order we want to do it in. And of course we get a perk at every level. Different perks are available at different levels. They have different requirements. I'll assess available perks every time I level up. And then the general stats. Then you have items. Another big tab. You have your carry weight. Right now I'm at 2 of 200. DR is raw damage resistance. In this game, it's actually just damage resistance. It caps at 85. Right now my DR is 1. Caps are money. I have 0. I have no weapons. I have a Vault 101 Child's Jumpsuit, which weighs 2, has a value of 5, is in perfect condition, and gives me 1 point of DR. I have no aid items, I have no miscellaneous items, and I have no ammo, so let's go to data. Start with the local map, which I have found is virtually useless in this game. Like, it's almost impossible to read and use. So I never spend any time on this tab. But you can see the location. We're inside Vault 101. You can see the date. That's, I think it's 2268 in this game. And it has the time. The world map is what you ultimately use to fast travel. Right now we only have one location, Vault 101, so it's not any use to us now, but we will be using it all the time. Here are your quests. Completed quests are grayed out, shown at the bottom of the list, so as you can see we've finished Baby Steps, which was basically one of the character creation quests. We've got a couple more of those left to go. Here's Growing Up Fast, our current quest. Enjoy the party and speak with the guests. Easy enough. You go to Notes. I have none. And if you tune into the radio, I can activate the Vault 101 PA system, and that music will play. I typically don't have the radio on. I prefer to listen to the actual world around my character, but you can listen to the radio if you want. Nothing wrong with it. Alright, well, let's enjoy the party and speak to the guests.
Happy birthday! We really surprised you, didn't we? Your dad was afraid you were onto us, but I told him not to worry. You're so easy to fool.
Great party, Amata. Thanks for doing this for me. I'm gonna go good for this one.
You're welcome. But really, your dad did most of it. I just help with the decorations and stuff. Hey, I bet you can't guess what I got you for your birthday. Go on, guess.
I like to go good in this game because the followers don't matter that much, but for my money, Fox and Star Paladin Cross are by far the best, most powerful followers, and they're the ones you have to have good karma to recruit. A date with Christine Kendall?
Gross! I didn't think you even liked girls. And you know what I mean, before you say something rude about me. I guess maybe I should give this to someone else. Someone who likes Grognak the Barbarian better than me and Christine. The question is, how could you tell the difference?
Oh man, you got a...
Grognak the Barbarian added. So, Grognak the Barbarian, you can see it's worth 50 caps. That's a skill book. It's a melee weapon skill book. You could read it right now, but it would only give you 1 point. I think it would be incredibly foolish to read any skill books before you have the comprehension perk. So we're just going to hold on to it.
I wish I was 10. Hey, thanks for inviting me. Really cool party and everything. I know that, Butch and I give you a hard time, but you don't take that seriously, right? Anyway, happy birthday and everything. I better get back to, you know.
What, are you two best friends now?
Happy birthday,
Hey,
Sonny.
I think Paul's gone soft on him.
I hope you appreciate the effort Amata put into this party. She really seems to like you, for some reason.
She did a great job, but couldn't you have helped out a bit more?
I do not allow the fact that Amata is my daughter to compromise my position as overseer. I gave her all the appropriate paternal encouragement, of course, but I could not contribute extra vault resources. That is simply what my position requires. No more, no less. I know Amata understands that perfectly well.
Now at this point you could
Paul, why don't you introduce us?
start picking up all the junk, but I don't really think there's any point to that in this game. A lot of it actually has 0 value anyway.
Happy birthday.
And I can't, and this is also important, unlike in Skyrim, I can't work on training up my speech skill by selling everything. I don't get any extra experience for it, it's only a matter of caps, so I think it's typically a waste of time, but...
Who do you mean, dorkface?
Are you having a nice party? 10 years old. My. Seems like only yesterday that your daddy came. Goodness, listen to me ramble. You're waiting for your present, aren't you?
Oh, you didn't have to bring me a present, Mrs. Palmer.
Fiddlesticks. What 10-year-old doesn't like presents? I was 10 once, believe it or not. My goodness, the vault was practically crowded back then. Not like today. So few young people now. But here I am rambling on again, and you listening so politely. Here you go, a nice sweet roll that I baked for you just this morning. And it's all for you. No sharing required today.
Attention, everyone.
Happy birthday,
Time to cut.
Sweet roll added. Restores 5 HP. Hooray.
Andy, wait!
Hey,
This party's pretty good, I guess. For a little kid. Balloons, party hats. Not as cool as my party, though. Remember how my dad got Andy to do magic tricks? And we all played Hunt the Mutant in the atrium? Oh, right. You weren't invited to my party. Too bad, man. It was really fun.
happy birthday, Nosebleed.
I am mortified about the cake.
Having a good time? It wasn't easy keeping this a secret. Now go on. I'm sure everyone else would like a chance to talk to the birthday boy.
Simply
Daddy, I
mortified.
told you not to...
I'm hungry, and that stupid robot destroyed the cake. Give me that sweet roll you got from Old Lady Palmer.
But being good doesn't mean I'm going to be a pushover. Go soak your head, Butch. I'm not giving you my sweet roll.
Oh, yeah? We'll see about that.
Act
You're
all
gonna be
official.
sorry, you little...
I know you were joking, but I'm not sure anyone else did.
Nonsense. People always enjoy my...
what do you think
Why can't I get my fists
You're
out?
gonna be really sorry you messed with me, punk.
Hello.
Besides, that friend of yours could use a reminder that life is not
Nice.
Come
all
on,
fun
Wally.
and
You
all
always
right,
have
son?
good ideas.
One of-
I hope Butch didn't hurt you. You want to tell me what that was all about?
He tried to take my birthday present.
Why, that little... I figured it was him that started it. He's been nothing but trouble since the day he was born. You let me handle this and try to stay out of the way.
3,000
All
It's
right,
supposed
Butch.
to be a
What
party,
piece of
you know?
junk?
Hey,
I think you have to...
What's Butch's problem anyway? I can't believe he tried to start a fight at your own birthday party. What a jerk.
The jerk tried to steal my sweet roll.
God, he really is a butthead. Oh well, you can always count on Butch to make an ass of himself. Get it?
Wind it up
Gomez.
every morning.
Nice party, huh?
How do you like that Pip-Boy, son? Fit all right and everything?
It's really cool. Did you fix it up for me?
As a matter of fact, I did. I'm glad you like it. Some may think the A series is a bit basic, but I've always preferred them for their reliability.
Thanks, Stanley.
Don't mention it. Oh, yes, I almost forgot. Happy birthday! Not much, but I hope you like it.
Kid's baseball cap added. Melee weapons, +5. And a point of damage resistance. Why
I've
not?
had it with you, Butch.
think we
Your mother is
surprised
going to
him?
hear about this little
I'm
incident.
sure of it, Amata.
What did he
Never
tell you? Was it
suspected
my
a thing.
fault? You didn't hear
Now
what
go
he said
on
to
and
me.
enjoy yourself.
I'm not going to tolerate any more of your bullying.
Thanks for coming, Stanley.
Come
I
on,
know
come
you were
on,
busy
Mom.
with the
Big
water
deal.
purifier.
Are we done?
Everything's fine, I hope.
For now, just remember, I'm keeping my eye on you.
Well,
Me and Andy
rats.
got her all fixed up again last night. Good
I
as
don't
new.
know. I've got to think
I
about it.
wasn't worried.
So, what do you think we
Jonas?
should call our game? It's got to
Hey,
be
Doc.
totally
I'm
killer.
glad you could make it.
Hey, how about the vault dweller?
Thanks.
Get it?
I'll send him right down.
Who wants to go around
How's it going,
all day
pal?
being called
Hi,
a
Mrs.
vault
Palmer.
dweller?
I
Sometimes
help
I
with
think
the
you really are as
Hey, that was Jonas on the intercom. He and I have been cooking up a little surprise present. Jonas is waiting for you downstairs on the reactor level. Go ahead. I don't think anyone will mind if you slip out for a few minutes.
dumb as you look.
Oh, really?
Completed. Enjoy the party and speak with the
You did
guests.
such a
Enjoying
splendid
yourself?
Meet Jonas
job.
on the reactor level. The flashing arrow on your compass shows the location of your objective.
Happy birthday, dearie. My goodness, I hope I didn't miss the party.
Yeah, my dad and Amata threw me a great party, didn't they?
They sure did. My. 10 years old already? Why, I can remember helping your dad change your diapers. And now look at you, a great big grown-up 10-year-old with your very own Pip-Boy. Since this was such a special occasion, do you know what I did? I wrote you a poem, just for you. I hope you like it.
Thank you. I will treasure it always. Is that all?
Of course. Run along now, dearie, and have yourself a wonderful birthday.
Note added, a birthday poem. You can read any notes you get here. A birthday poem. Gray walls, impenetrable steel, suffocation, condemnation, little hands groping in subterranean uncertainty. Mommy? Daddy? Am I dead? Nay, nay, reborn into purifying fluorescence. A face emerges, strong and male, father to me, father to all, overseeing our lives, our eternities, harshness of discipline, harshness of love, obedience my savior, larva to pupa, pupa to worker, buzz, buzz, one with the steel honeycomb, 10 lies within the 101, significant at last, till gray seeps from walls to hair to soul, then eternal slumber, the sweet sleep of incineration. That's kind of screwy. But let's continue.
Hello, Officer Gomez. I'm glad you could make it.
I'm glad to be here.
Now, if we head up here, it's entirely pointless, but I'll just point out it's possible to pickpocket 2 stim packs off that security guard. Oh yeah. We can get a glimpse at what a jerk the overseer is. Which I kinda like. They act like you're not here, which is a little weird, but...
Enjoy the party, sir?
Bah! I only showed up because Amata's friends with the brat. Give them a few more minutes, and then I want that place cleaned up and everybody back to work.
Sure thing, sir.
Officer Kendall. Yeah, you can pickpocket 2 stim packs, but you literally lose them forever at the end of the chapter if you do, so it's entirely pointless. Well, let's just head down to the reactor level and say hi to Jonas.
What are you doing down here, young man? I thought kids weren't allowed down on the reactor level.
I'm not a kid, I'm 10 years old.
You sure are. Pip-Boy and everything. Look at that. If you can wait just one more minute, I think your dad will want to give you the surprise himself.
Are you ready for your surprise?
What kind of surprise?
The Overseer gave you your Pip-Boy, and you're old enough to do some work, so I figure you're old enough for this. Your own BB gun. It's a little old, but it should work perfectly. Jonas found it down here. It was in pretty rough shape. Took us a good 3 months to find the parts to get it working again. You know how tough it is to find a spring that small? Good thing Butch misplaced that switchblade of his. So, what do you think? Want to give it a try?
Here? We can't shoot a gun here.
We sure can't, unless we want the Overseer beating down our door. Jonas and I have found a place, though. Come on.
Well, we completed Meet Jonas on the reactor level.
Well, what do you think? You can come down here and shoot anytime you want.
This is so great. Thanks.
Couldn't have done it without Jonas's help. You make sure to thank him.
Shoot all 3 targets with the BB gun. Let's thank Jonas.
Happy birthday, buddy. I hope you have fun with it.
Thanks a lot, Jonas. This is really cool.
Hey, you don't turn 10 every day. Now go on and let me see you shoot something.
To fire your weapon, push mouse 1. Alright. That's nice and easy. To aim, push mouse 2. This increases your accuracy. Excellent. For more information, press escape and select help. That's not necessary.
Careful, it's a rad roach. Think you can take care of that with your BB gun?
Use the BB gun to kill the rad roach. Push V to enter VATS. Welcome to the Vault-Tec Assisted Targeting System, or VATS. VATS displays the chance you will hit along with the condition of each body part. Mouse 1, attack your target. Mouse 2, cancel an attack. E, accept your actions. Left click on the left or right arrows to switch to a new target. The number of attacks you can make is limited by your action points. Fair enough. So we can switch who we shoot at this way. We're just going to shoot the rad roach. No point in attacking anything other than the torso. You'll always have a 1 in 20 chance of missing. No matter how boosted you are, your odds to hit can't exceed 95%, so let's just attack the torso twice. Boom. 1 XP. Booyah. Completed.
Good work. That's one less rad roach to deal with. Let's get a picture together. Capture the moment. Hey, Jonas, get a picture of me with a big game hunter.
Stand next to Dad so Jonas can take the picture. How do I holster my weapon? That I'd like to know. Let's see, that's the console. That's
over
aim.
here, son.
T is weight. I feel like this is something I need to know. Ah, okay.
Smile.
Boys and girls have different parts.
What is her problem anyway? So, I'm the overseer's daughter, so what?
6 years later.
Revelation 21:6. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. As far as I can tell, you're a perfectly healthy 16-year-old boy. So yes, you have to go to class to take your G.O.A.T exam. Go on now. You've got a G.O.A.T to take.
If you say so, Dad.
Hey, it's not my call. Those are the rules. You're 16 now, so this year you take the G.O.A.T. Come on, it's not so bad. Everyone has to take it. You'll do just fine.
But I'm sick, really.
No, you're not. Really. When I started studying medicine, one of the first things I learned was how to spot a kid playing sick to get out of taking a test. You'll do fine. It's not so bad. Everyone has to take it when they're 16. I had to, you have to, and so does everyone else. And most everyone makes it through without a scratch.
Anything I need to know about the G.O.A.T?
The Generalized Occupational Aptitude Test. G.O.A.T. Everyone here in the vault takes it when they're 16. Helps to figure out what sort of a job you'll have here in Vault 101 when you get a bit older. So, pay attention and try not to fall asleep. You know what the Overseer says? We're born in the vault, we die in the vault. Each is tested to determine their abilities, that they may work for the betterment of all vault residents. Huh. Sound familiar?
Do we have to die in the vault? Can't we ever leave?
That's not the way it works. And it won't do to go around asking questions like that. Especially not around the Overseer. I want to tell you something now. It's important, so listen closely. This place, this vault, it's not perfect, I know. But it is your home. You're safe here. Stay on the Overseer's good side, and you always will be. You understand? You need to appreciate all you have. Because what's up there, on the outside, that's not the life I want for you. And it's not what your mother wanted for you either.
Is it true, Dad? Was everyone born in the vault?
That's what the Overseer says, isn't it? He's not about to let anyone else in, so I guess that's how it'll have to be. You're here now, and it's a hell of a lot better than being up there. All your mother and I ever wanted was for you to be safe, and you're safe here.
Can we talk about, Mom?
Your mother, she was beautiful. But beyond the beauty you've seen. There's just so much those old photos can never show. And she was passionate. About life, about love. But most of all, she was passionate about you. When she became pregnant, it was the happiest I had ever seen her. She had great things in mind for you. And so, time for you to stop stalling and get to class. Please, son, please, take these achievement tests seriously. The last thing I need is your mother's ghost haunting me because her only child became a garbage burner.
Bye, Dad.
Take care, son. I got out of here. Good luck.
Quest added. Future Imperfect. Get to class and talk to Mr. Broch about the G.O.A.T. First things first. Grab the bobblehead medicine. You've found a Vault-Tec limited edition bobblehead. The inscription on the base reads, "The smart man knows a bandage only hides his wounds." Your medicine skill has been permanently increased by 10 points. Awesome. That puts it at 33. Cool. We can hop on Dad's computer. Vault 101 Medical Data System. Remember, medical files are confidential. Patient files. Freddy Gomez. Freddy's VDS is getting worse. Most days he can't even get out of bed. When he does manage to function, Freddy hides his insecurities and low self-esteem behind a bully's mask. Vault-Tec medical protocols dictate the prescription of anti-anxiety medication when Vault Depressive Syndrome is involved. But do I really want to string the kid out on chlorpromazine for the rest of his life? Stanley. Stanley continues to suffer from severe and chronic head pain. I've been feeding him aspirin like it's candy, but I'm reticent to give him anything stronger. He blames the lighting in his quarters, and though eye strain is certainly compounding the problem, the headaches are actually a symptom of overwork and lack of sleep. Knowing Stanley and the schedule the Overseer has him on, the problem isn't likely to get better anytime soon, so it's aspirin indefinitely. Amata. Once again, the Overseer has insisted on being in the room for Amata's examination, throwing any inkling of doctor-patient confidentiality right out the window. I know he doesn't trust me, he never has, but I honestly believe the reason he attends his daughter's medical appointments is because he doesn't trust her. That's as ridiculous as it is sad. Amata's a great girl, and the chance of her doing something stupid, pregnancy, syphilis, whatever, is so unlikely it's not even worth mentioning. Experiments. Experiment 27CE. The cells are still replicating normally. No mutation. Thank God. If whatever's out there could penetrate this vault, I can't even begin to imagine what the Overseer would do. Experiment PP216. After borrowing a few more water chips and rerouting some of the power here in the clinic, I've finally been able to effect the latest sample. It's not much, but considering what I have to work with it, a definite step in the right direction. But this new experiment was also monumental for another reason. It's the first time Jonas has assisted me. He's suspected forever, I know, so I guess it was inevitable, and his help has been invaluable. I just hope he knows what he's gotten himself into. Also notice, there's an average locked framed quote here. Need a lockpick skill of 50.
Stopped in to see the old man before class, eh? Hey, 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 sport. It's been a while since you stopped in here to see us.
I'm a little worried.
It's the big goat day today.
I hope Jonas can take a look at me soon.
Morning, Jonas.
Morning, Doc.
Let's head out here.
Get out of my way, you stupid tunnel snakes!
I can show you a real tunnel snake, Amata.
God, Butch, why don't you just leave me alone?
What are you
Show it to
do,
her, Butch.
Amata? Go run and tell
Tell
your
her,
daddy
Butch.
on us? Yeah? What do you want?
The best option is to pass a speech check with Butch because it raises our karma and gives us a little bit of experience. What's going on here?
None of your business, kid. Get out of here before you get hurt. If you mess with the tunnel snakes, you're asking for it. Got me?
If you keep messing with her, see, I have a 20% chance. If you keep messing with her, the Overseer is going to come down on your gang.
Like I'm gonna listen to a little shrimp like you. Get lost, Poindexter. Damn right you will. Get lost.
Go away, you stupid tunnel.
Yeah? What do you want?
We're going to end up doing this a lot.
s-
Just
She thinks
because
she's better.
it's
Yeah?
typically the
What do you
best
want?
option to pass a speech check.
Maybe you're right. We can deal with her later. Come on, tunnel snakes. This little bitch isn't worth our time. Whatever you say, Butch. You're the boss. Tunnel snakes rule.
Fine, let's go.
Thanks for getting rid of them. Assholes. I don't know why they won't leave me alone. Just because my father's the Overseer, I guess? Idiots.
Hi, Stanley. Sorry.
Now, I'm going to take the goat just because I think it's fun. You can adjust your tag skills afterward anyway, and there's no point in skipping it. Unless you've already seen it, but...
Well, you made it.
All set for the GOAT? Trust me, it really isn't that bad. Just something everybody has to go through.
Sure, I'm ready. I bet I'll ace it.
I'm sure you will, especially since it's multiple choice with no wrong answers. We'll start as soon as everyone's found a seat. Good luck. Let's not keep the overseer waiting.
Sit down and take the GOAT.
Back off.
Sure. Let's do it.
Well, now that everyone has managed to find the classroom, we can finally get started. No talking, and keep your eyes to yourselves. Yes, I'm talking to you, Mr. Deloria.
Sure thing, Mr. Brotch.
Unless anyone else has an insightful comment, let's get started. Question 1. A frenzied vault scientist runs up to you and yells, "I'm going to put my quantum harmonizer in your photonic resonation chamber." What's your response?
But Doctor, wouldn't that cause a parabolic destabilization of the fission singularity? Yeah, up yours too, buddy. Say nothing, but grab a nearby pipe and hit the scientist in the head to knock him out. For all you know, he was planning on blowing up the vault. Say nothing, but slip away before the scientist can continue his rant. I'll go with the first one.
Question 2. While working as an intern in the clinic, a patient with a strange infection in his foot stumbles through the door. The infection is spreading at an alarming rate, but the doctor stepped out for a while. What do you do?
Amputate the foot before the infection spreads, scream for help, medicate the infected area to the best of your abilities, restrain the patient, and merely observe as the infection spreads. Amputate!
Question 3. You discover a young boy lost in the lower levels of the vault. He's hungry and frightened, but also appears to be in possession of stolen property. What do you do?
Give the boy a hug and tell him everything will be okay. Confiscate the stolen property by force and leave the boy there as punishment. Pick the boy's pocket to take the stolen property for yourself and leave him to his fate. Lead the boy to safety and then turn him in to the overseer. Number 1.
Question 4. Congratulations. You've made one of the Vault 101 baseball teams. Which position do you prefer?
Pitcher, catcher, designated hitter. None. You wish the Vault had a soccer team. Pitcher.
Question 5. Your grandmother invites you to tea, but you're surprised when she gives you a pistol and orders you to kill another Vault resident. What do you do?
Obey your elder and kill the resident with the pistol. Offer your most prized possession for the resident's life. Ask Granny for a minigun instead, after all you don't want to miss. Throw your tea in Granny's face.
Question 6. Old Mr. Abernathy has locked himself in his quarters again, and you've been ordered to get him out. How do you proceed?
Use a bobby pin to pick the lock on the door. Trade a Vault hoodlum for his cherry bomb and blow the door open. Go to the armory, retrieve a laser pistol and shoot the lock off. Walk away and let the old coot rot.
Question 7. Oh no, you've been exposed to radiation, and a mutated hand has grown out of your stomach. What's the best course of treatment?
A bullet to the brain, large doses of an anti-mutagen agent, prayer, maybe God will spare you in exchange for a life of pious devotion, removal of the mutated tissue with a precision laser.
Question 8. A fellow Vault 101 resident is in possession of Grognak the Barbarian comic book, issue number 1. You want it. What's the best way to obtain it?
Trade the comic book for one of your own valuable possessions, steal the comic book at gunpoint, sneak into the resident's quarters and steal the comic book from his desk, slip some knockout drops into the resident's Nuka-Cola and take the comic book when he's unconscious.
Question 9. You decide it would be fun to play a prank on your father. You enter his private restroom when no one is looking, and...
Loosen the bolts on some pipes. When the sink is turned on, the restroom will flood. Put a firecracker in the toilet. That's sure to cause some chaos. Break into the locked medicine cabinet and replace his high blood pressure medication with sugar pills. Manipulate the power wattage on his razor so he'll get an electric shock the next time he shaves. The only one that won't actually hurt him is the restroom flooding, so let's do that one.
Question 10. who is indisputably the most important person in Vault 101. He who shelters us from the harshness of the atomic wasteland, and to whom we owe everything we have, including our lives.
The Overseer.
Pencils down, people. That's it. Infamous G.O.A.T. I'm sure most of you didn't find it so bad. Others, well, there are always openings in the maintenance department. Don't forget to hand in your test before you leave. We don't want to know what happens to people who fail the G.O.A.T. You can have the rest of the day off to celebrate or to pray, as the situation warrants. It says here you're perfectly suited for a career as a waste management specialist. A specialist, mind you, not just a dabbler. Congratulations.
Whatever, I just answered randomly. Is that how you got stuck with your job?
Ha! Closer to reality than you might think. Listen, I was just as obnoxious at your age. I didn't take the G.O.A.T. seriously, and look where I ended up. Just between you and me. The whole test is a joke. If you don't like the results, I can make your G.O.A.T. come out any way you want. Just let me know.
So, that tagged explosives, melee weapons, and speech. What I actually want to tag are lockpick, repair, and sneak. So let's do that instead.
Back off.
Exit the classroom.
I'll see you tomorrow, bright and early.
Anything is possible, even an A.
Daddy's not
Progress.
here to save you now, is he?
3 years later.
Selfish and insubordinate.
Wake up!
You
Come
need
on,
to
wake
know
up!
these things. I'm not going to be around to hold your hand forever.
Come on! You've got to wake up!
Huh? What's wrong, Amada?
You've got to get out of here. Your dad is gone, and my father's men are looking for you.
What do you mean my dad is gone?
He's left the vault. I don't know how, but he's gone. And my father, he's kind of gone crazy.
I've never seen you so scared, Amada. What's happened?
It's Jonas! They killed him! My father's men. They took him and... Oh my god, you have to leave now!
Oh my god, are you okay?
Yeah, don't worry about me. I'm just sorry you had to find out like this. I know Jonas was your friend. But we've got to go now. My father's men will be here any minute.
You're right, I can't stay here, but where can I go?
I'm sorry, but I think you'll have to follow your dad. You'll have to escape from the vault. Listen, maybe it isn't any of my business, but didn't your dad tell you that he was leaving?
No, I had no idea he was planning to leave.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sure he had his reasons. Maybe Jonas was supposed to explain everything to you? But it doesn't matter. I can help you escape. I have my own plan.
Escape the vault? How?
Listen, there's a secret tunnel that leads directly from my father's office to the exit. You'll have to hack the computer in his office to open it. Use these to get into his office. That's how I always get in.
Sounds like a good plan. Let's get out of here. Quest added. Escape. You should get your stuff from your desk before you leave.
Oh, one more thing. I stole my father's pistol. I hope you won't need it, but you'd better take it just in case.
Thanks, Amada. I'll only use it as last resort, I promise.
Okay, I'll try to meet you at the exit. Watch out for security. Good luck!
Alright. So we have a 10mm pistol. So you can see in perfect condition, currently does 5 damage.
I'll meet you at the vault door if I can, but don't wait for me.
First aid kit. 1 Med-X. And 10 stim packs. We'll certainly take all those. At our desk, we've got the BB gun and 50 BBs from our birthday. Note it only does 2 damage, although it's not quite in perfect condition. It's kind of a shitty weapon. Here's the baseball bat. This is what we'll be escaping with. Actually does 6 damage, and it's a melee weapon. It doesn't use any ammo. So, we'll be rocking the baseball bat. Search the dresser. Our copy of Grognak the Barbarian. Make sure you grab that. I'm going to grab the pre-war baseball cap and put it on. Take the Vault 101 jumpsuits. And definitely take the Vault 101 utility jumpsuit. I'm going to carry this with me most of the game because if I'm ever at 45 lockpick or 45 45 lockpick and I run across an average lock, I can pop this outfit on to boost it to 50 and open it without actually spending the 5 skill points. Comes in very handy. That's everything for this room. The reason I grabbed those jumpsuits is I'm going to use them to repair the utility jumpsuit to keep it in pretty good shape. Alright, let's check the other dresser. It's empty. And I'm going to conclude the first video here because all of that was basically really long-winded character creation. Now we have the prologue mission, and then the game starts in earnest. So I think this is a good stopping point. That's it for this initial installment of Let's Play Fallout 3 Game of the Year Edition. Next video will hopefully be Thief Chapter 6, if I can figure out a reliable way to get around the bugs and ghost it and get everything. That's theoretically next, but it might be more Fallout